Welcome, YouTube and Twitchers.
Welcome. Zip Fizz. Zip Fizz. Whoa! Hey, everybody.
That's a groove.
That is the groove, man. Yeah! This is us. This is Mike and I's band.
That's awesome, man. I'm waiting for the big, high-pitched rock scream, baby. Come on, lay it out.
Yeah!
That was awesome, guys, man. I'm sorry I didn't see you live, man. Dang it.
I know. It's one for the ages, right? Hey, welcome to the Chris and Mike Show. He's Mike. I'm Chris. This is Mark Winters. He's a badass. We are brought to you by Riverside FM, the one and only choice for podcast platforms. Remember, we're live on Twitch, YouTube, and now streaming on our website, chrisandmikeshow.com. So for those of you that are out there in the 32 countries now,
34?
34 countries
32?
now. 34 now. 34.
We just picked up the Netherlands and Costa Rica.
Yes. Bienvenidos. I don't know how to say it. Hey, yeah. So maybe Mark can talk backwards in Netherlands language and welcome them for us.
That would be awesome. Yeah. I'm not sure how to do straw cab in Netherlands. I'm not sure how to do Netherlands language. What's the native tongue there?
I have no idea.
Dutch.
Okay.
Dutch. Okay. Dutch. There you go.
Dutch. Okay. Yeah. The Dutch is beyond me, guys.
Yeah, that's okay. One of our reels from your first episode went nuts, and it was the one that you talked about the straw cabbing, but then also the was it the straw cab and the other thing?
Yeah,
it was
straw cabbing
and the polyglot.
And the other one though, the glot, the pirate. What is it? The polyglot. Yeah,
yep.
Polyglot.
Those two.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
that
two were really good
too.
reels, man. Yeah, that was fun.
My brother is a really interesting guy, for sure. I think I need to get him to sing my songs backwards. That would be amazing if I could get him to do that.
Dude, that would take
so
backward
cool.
masking to a whole new level.
Yes.
Remember that in the 70s backmasking? Like, oh, play Led Zeppelin backwards and it's all evil and satanic and shit.
Straw cab kissoon. That's what it would be in English anyway, right?
Went all the way to the Supreme Court.
Right.
That's crazy.
So Mark Winters is on tour, or he's getting ready to go on tour because you're going to be in Arizona next month.
Yes, sir. I've got a big show kicking off the tour here in town in Houston, March 7th at the Armadillo Palace. And then a couple of weeks worth of load in and ready, getting the trailer and myself all ready. And then we're on the road at the end of March and ready to bring some positive vibes out.
Yeah, buddy.
On the West Coast, the North, the East, everywhere, man, coming at y'all.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Absolutely.
Have you ever been to Bisbee?
I've not been to Bisbee before.
Okay.
Is it a rocking place to visit, Chris?
It is a small town.
I was going to say that's one way of putting it.
It's a small town. It's a really small town. It's kind of a hippie kind of commune vibe thing. I don't know if I've ever been there, but I've known people. And if we can make it to the show, it'll be my first trip to Bisbee. I have to look at the date again because I've got to make sure it's a weekend because otherwise, with the wife being a teacher and stuff, it'll be next to impossible. But it's a small town. It's very. I don't know. I want to say eclectic. Maybe eclectic is the right word.
That's a good word, actually.
That's a good word. Yeah. It's. I think you're gonna fit in there really well, Mark.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's a teeny bit of a nerdy vibe and people are down for some extra protons in their life, a little extra positive energy, I'm there, man. It sounds like my kind of place.
Yeah, you will fit in well there for sure, man.
They would be what I would like to call open-minded people for sure.
Yes. Okay. There you go. Open-minded people.
That's sweet. I met a ton of those on my last tour, and cool. I really. Man, I love people from diverse backgrounds. I love people who are just a big melting pot. It's like it's a phenomenal way to immerse yourself out in the world we live in,
Yeah, absolutely, man. Questions, Mike, for Mark? You're sitting there all stoically.
I
He's freezing.
Cold.
I was listening to your conversation.
I need my furnace. Where is my furnace?
You guys look so warm.
Yeah, yeah. I was outside yesterday doing yard work because I live on an acre, Mark. So it was, I think, 84, 86 at one point in time. I came inside and I was just sweating profusely like I was in a shower. I'm like, yep, here we go.
Summer's coming.
I actually like the warm weather, man. I'm all down for like a good 70 or an 80-degree day, maybe even 90. It doesn't drag me down. My wife, she'd rather be hanging up there with Mike in the cold weather.
See, so would mine. Yeah, so would mine. She's tired of the heat, man, especially in the summers. And everybody thinks our summer's gonna be stupid hot because we had like maybe a week of winter. Like I think I wore a jacket twice, and one of those when I was up in Munns Park last weekend for our 30th anniversary because it snowed. And I'm like, what the hell is this shit, man?
You actually got to see quite a bit of snow based on your pictures.
Yeah. My truck, when we woke up, my truck one day had probably at least a foot of snow on top of it. I'm like, all right.
That's crazy.
When is the last time you saw snow before that?
Well, in 2019, it snowed in Carefree, and it had a listing. Carefree's just outside of the Phoenix metro area, Mark. And it legit snowed. Like it was like,
yeah, that happened several times when I was there too.
So that was previous to that. That was the only other time. Cause I don't think there was snow when no, I'm sorry. We went on an Alaskan cruise in the valley, that time, but we went to Alaska 2 years ago, and we saw snow there, obviously, glaciers and stuff.
I figured
Alaska
it had been a while.
Is phenomenal. My wife and I were just up there visiting. I know. Yeah.
Looking for a house.
The podcast.
Looking for a little cabin. We're not moving there, but we're going to buy some property in the cabin up there in the Fairbanks area. And
did you find one?
We found a property we like, so we'll see if the stars align for that. But
because that's the day you were on the show. You were there. Yeah,
it was pretty phenomenal. So we're hoping to close in on that. Cool. Everything happens pretty fast these days, so internet land purchases are pretty fast. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just buying land, not a cabin, or you're buying both?
Yeah, land, and we'll put a cabin on it.
Oh, there you go.
It's just there's a lot of DIY houses in Alaska.
Sure.
And when you kind of get inside them, you're like there might be an electrical hazard here. You're not sure that you want to live in it. There's a lot of, if you're in town, there's a lot of professionally built things. But when you get out in the country, it's a lot of people just like, hey, Chris and Mike, come over. We're going to build a house today, right? We build a house in an afternoon, and it's sort of like not quite square, and
right.
But I guess it's kind of the Alaskan way. We had snow in Houston probably 4 or 5 years ago. It actually stuck.
Wow.
I think the first time in maybe 20 years. It was amazing here.
Wow.
We actually got to get the dogs and go run out in the snow and build a snowman. It was like the whole city shut down for a week. We didn't know how to deal with it. It was phenomenal.
That's what I was going to ask. Did everybody just freak out?
Yeah, it was pretty insane. We don't have any salt trucks or snow plows or we got nothing. So if it snows and sticks, it's like, all right, people, y'all just hunker down for a while until all this stuff melts naturally.
There you go. So if I heard, go ahead, Mike.
With this tour that you got coming up, Mark, are you supporting an album that you just recorded, or I kind of forgot what we talked about last time?
Yeah, for sure. I've been putting out singles from a new album.
I have noticed that.
The Science in Me is the name of the surprise with my Albert Einstein shirt on. But yeah, it's some songs that are I guess some of them are a little more playful, like Fake Gravity. It's kind of got this cool groove. It's a little more pop centric. And then I just released Velocity before that, and a song called The Speed of Light. And I have a few more. I just the most recent release has been a song that I wrote about my brother Paul. It's
The polyglot?
kind of a sadder moment in my life. No, I had another younger brother, and he actually committed suicide,
Oh no, I'm
which
so
is sort
sorry.
of super heavy. And I was talking to some friends who had similar situations going on in their families, and they encouraged me to write about it because it would help
Yep.
me and it would help other people who were listening to it. I haven't put a heavy piece out like that before, so it was very emotional for me to write it. The song is called "Let It Rain,"
Okay.
and it's I think a lot of the feelings in the song for me are about, guilt, like, how could I have been there more for my brother
Sure.
in his time of need? I thought I did everything that I possibly could to be there for him,
But those are human
yeah,
emotions.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
We would all have those feelings for sure.
Yeah, just tough to write about and tough to sing about. But let me tell you, I've gotten just an enormous amount of outreach from everyone, consoling me about my brother's loss. It was a number of years ago, but it's still very fresh for me. And people sharing their own experiences of loss and love. For me, the chorus and the vibe of the song, sort of reset. I don't know. I don't know if you guys feel this or not, but water is a big reset button for me. Like if
Absolutely.
I go stand in the shower, I go stand
Yep.
out in the rain,
Yep.
I go swimming. Just it just clears. I don't know what it is. It's like mystical. I don't know, but it
We have that
resets
in
in my
common
mind.
for sure. I
Yeah,
agree with you.
yeah. So the chorus is like let it rain. Wash away my pride, help me heal inside. You know, let it
Yep.
rain and make me clean again. And I really feel that it's. I've played it live once. I had a show yesterday, and whew, let me tell you,
Yeah.
it was tough to get through that. And yeah,
Yeah. The video is playing in our background right now. I
I've
don't
been
have the
watching the
sound
words
on.
as you're talking,
Yeah.
Mark. I
Yeah.
love the lyrics.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah,
Mike and I have experience with this too. We lost our drummer for Nemesis. He took his own life, which is one of the reasons why we wrap up every show, as about, if you're feeling suicidal, depressed, you need to find somebody to talk to, and text 988 because somebody's there to help you through whatever you're struggling. That's the biggest problem with suicide is people don't talk about it. Like that 25-year-old Minnesota Viking wide receiver just killed himself in his garage like last month. It's like,
I mean, what's up with
really?
that? Yeah.
Like, and Nick and I talked about it. It could have been to where he finally reached that epic point, right? Because Mike and I have had this discussion, and we've talked about it's a 0.0017% chance that every single college athlete's going to make the NFL. It's that difficult, right? So to get to that level, Nick and I's conversation was, well, maybe when he got to the level, it wasn't it wasn't everything he thought it was going to be. There was something that surfaced later that when he played for the Cardinals, that I think it was J.J. Watt. I forget which one, but I think J.J. Watt was talking to him on NFL's Hard Knocks because he had dropped a pass, and the dude was obviously just distraught that he dropped a pass. He's like, "Man, it's practice, man." J.J. Watt, like it's practice. Like this is why we're here. Just don't do it when it counts. And the dude was just
That's the level of pressure that he was putting on himself. Yeah.
Right. So is that the level of pressure he carried with him every single day, which forced him at 25 to be like, I'm just done with this.
I can't
to me,
do
I
this
can't
anymore.
Right. To me, I think we've all had those thoughts at some point in time in our life. Maybe not all of us. I've had it a couple times
for sure.
And I didn't do anything about it. I didn't, even go down the path of attempting it. It was just, just one of those things. But yeah, it sucks. And the hole that it leaves in your heart, and it's sibling, like Mike and I, it wasn't a sibling. It was a brother in music. And when I find out about it, I didn't find out about it till well after the fact. And I'm like, that just kind of hit me for a few days because it's like, what the fuck,
Yeah, I don't know. I just personally, I have such a positive view of the world, and I'm always seeing possibility and white space in front of people. It was so foreign to me, right?
Yeah.
I never knew that he was thinking about taking his own life. And I tried to do all the things that I could. I even read books and talked to
Yeah.
people and coached my family and all of that. And he
Mhm.
still took his own life. And
Yeah.
it, he left me a voicemail like, "Take care of mom."
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
It's like, oh my
Oh.
God. Okay, really?
Wow.
And it gives me the chills right now
I'm
still
sure.
just talking
Me
about
as
it.
well. That's heavy, man.
But like, I still don't understand.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to think of a situation that would put me in that frame of mind. It's just a foreign concept to me. And I wish I understood it better so I could relate and support people who are going through that.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure you do
yeah.
because I
No.
think Chris would agree with this. The fact that him and I do understand it for just like, and I mean microscopic moments in time,
Right.
I'll allow myself to remember that moment. But you don't want to understand it because somebody that's that close to it, and I've always heard this and we've experienced it, if somebody's going to commit suicide, they're just going to do it. The
Mhm.
people who are talking about it are crying out for help, right?
Right.
You've heard
Mhm.
those people, I'm just going to kill myself. Very few of those people do it. It takes getting to a point in your mind where you feel like there is no other option and the weight of the world is on top of you and I can't go on. I was in the throes of my addiction. I had no money, no job, no place to live. I was living in my car. Where do you go from there? That was that moment in time for me.
Yeah.
I think, the fact that you've experienced it maybe that makes you better able to help someone who's living in that moment. I know I recently did my first ever prison show. It was
Right on.
Wow.
It was like, okay, I had a minister in the area reach out to me and, hey, we got this holiday thing going on. We'd love you to come out and be a part of it. And
Yeah.
I tell you, yeah, first of all, it was a phenomenal experience for me.
Oh, I
Um,
bet. Well, anything with
we
Mark Winters is a phenomenal experience too. Come
Well,
on. It's
yeah.
like, you'd have
I
fun
don't
in an
know,
insurance
just
seminar where everybody's asleep, man.
Yeah, like, okay, let's do actuarials. Come on, guys, math time. No, this prison thing, let me tell you what lit me up. So first of all, I had so many amazing moments in this. It was a holiday show, so we did Christmas carols or
Okay.
Christmas. It was a faith ministry prison show at one of the bigger prisons here in Houston.
Okay.
And they had had so many amazing things going on. But the thing that really struck me was the fact that the three ministers who preached, right? So think about this. Out of this giant
Okay.
population, they have about 300 guys in this giant chapel, all inmates.
Yeah.
And they got these three priests who come up. And these priests, they had lived the life, man. They had,
Yeah.
like Mike,
Yeah.
they had addiction. They've been arrested for
Yeah.
every possible thing. They had done it all wrong. And like some of them multiple times. And then they found their way out, and each person found their way out in a different way. And what a great story for everyone to say, okay, you know what? You can be sort of down in the pit and you can find your way out. And to me, it was amazing. We had another amazing moment in the service. It's like, so we played a few songs, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, and then we played another song I can't remember. But the one that stuck out to me was we started playing Feliz Navidad, right? So I'm up there with the church, with the prison band. So we got two keyboard players, we got a bass player, we got a drummer, and we got four guys singing in the choir with me, right?
Okay.
And we got like a 1 hour to rehearse, and so we're sort of doing this like fluid, baby. It was like, all right. So we were doing the thing, and then we start singing Feliz Navidad, and everybody was singing along. Everybody,
Well, of
all
course,
these
man.
voices.
How
right?
can you
I mean,
not?
so much
Feliz
fun.
Navidad.
I mean, chorus, verse, chorus, and then when we get to the second one, the lead minister looks up at me, right, and he's like, like amp it up. So we dropped all the instruments, a cappella.
Oh,
we're singing Feliz Navidad, a cappella, 300 men in this amazing chapel singing Feliz Navidad.
I
We
bet
get
that
through a
was
verse, we
amazing.
get through a chorus, phenomenal. Everybody's just right in there. And then the minister invites these 3 guys up. They start breakdancing
No shit.
to Feliz Navidad being sung a cappella. It's like, what? Okay,
That's
the power
awesome.
of community. You're like on this wave
Yeah.
together. You're riding all this shared energy together. You're like, oh my goodness. What
Music,
a phenomenal
man.
event. Yeah, music. Yeah,
Music.
Took the
Chris,
word
well
right out of
said.
my
Music,
mouth.
man.
Yeah.
Power
Where
of
else do you
music.
get that?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's
That's
That
it.
just proves
phenomenal.
it, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just music. Just
Yeah.
absolutely. That's
It
amazing,
was-
dude.
Yeah, I just get so full of amazing energy. Just thinking back at that event, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So.
And while you're talking, I'm scrolling your tour dates just so
Okay.
people that are with us, they can see what's going on.
When are you going to
with you.
release your full album, Mark?
In October. So
Okay.
the last song is the most nerdy of all the songs in the Science in Me. It's called Triangulation. Okay.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So you got to get in a vibe, right? So triangulation might be how you find like an object, like if a cell tower is trying to figure out where your location is, then they use triangulation, to ping you from 3 different spots, and that gives them the ability to pinpoint your location. So here I am thinking about this school dance that I had back in high school, and I'm like, all right, there's this girl that I really want to ask out to dance at the dance to go to dance with me, and I see her across the room, right? And I start thinking like, all right, you know, I've got to keep an eye on her position, so I have to ping her, right? I got to triangulate where she is. I got to wade through the crowd. I can't look too obvious, right? I got my hands in my pockets. I got to get the courage up to come up and talk to her. And so I'm in this, triangulation mode, taking me closer to her, right? Making me feel her. And it's like this super nerdy triangulation moment in my little science brain that sort of makes me live life in a certain way. But I did have to clip out some of the physics terms to make it more relatable. So it's we'll see how it does. But it was a fun song to make, and it reminds me of that moment.
That's awesome.
I just noticed on your tour that you're going to be in Tempe on May 20th. So that I will be there, because even if Nikki has to work, Tempe is not too far from me. I'm going to check to see what day of the week that is. And you're playing at the Yucca Tap Room. Spent many nights in my youth in the Yucca Tap Room. Spent many nights in my youth at Yucca Tap Room. So did Mike. Some good, some not bad. It's a Wednesday, which is fine, because now what time do you go on? Because it's a Wednesday. Oh, she may. You know what? I think she's done with school by then. That would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. We have a lineup there. There are 3 of us on the ticket there. And so I'm guessing I'll be on around 8.
Okay, cool.
We're gonna do a collab as well. I have 3 or 4 songs that I'll send out that are community-oriented collabs. And I think we're gonna sing "Lean on Me" together, man. So
right on, dude.
You gotta come. You gotta come.
I'll come up there for that.
I'm gonna say you're gonna have to vibe with us, man. That'd be good.
I'll come sing that with you.
Okay.
I'm cool with that, dude. I can sing. I'm a singer.
I knew that. I heard you, brother. You got some pipes, dude. So ready to roll, man.
That'll. And I will tell you what, though, if we do that, that'll be the first time I've sung in public, probably since 2009. Because with the 2008 Road to Sturgis tour was my last band, that kind of fizzled away. I think 2009, I just finally was done with all the egos and shit that was being garnered by the guitar player. And I'm like, I'm just out, man. So, just saying.
No karaoke, no nothing, Chris. Nothing.
I won't do karaoke because I can't hear myself. And I'm that much of, I don't want to say a perfectionist, but I'm that much of, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it the best I can. And I'm not going to go up there and be a cheesy karaoke singer. It's just not and I can't, actually, I take it back. When we went to Alaska, we were on the cruise and I entered this game show in the big grand ballroom in the center of the boat. And it was I killed the game show. It was pretty cool. It was kind of stupid because when I grew up sick, so I watched TV so much. It was commercial jingles, and I just knew every single one of them. It was the stupidest thing. I just kept hitting the buzzer. So then, the final thing was we had to do there was two other people, myself. It was a trivia type thing where we had to sing a song, but I had to sing the song when the music was cutting in and out. So there's like 20 songs to choose from. So I chose Bryan Adams' Summer of '69.
Okay.
So if you can imagine, like say a 2,000 seat venue with a double balcony, right? So I'm on the stage down here, and I start singing the song, and then the music cuts out, which is fine because I know the song. I have the entire crowd going. They're singing the chorus with me. Mike can attest to this kind of shit I used to do with the band. So I mean, I rocked the house, right? I mean, the entire, both balconies, everything was singing along with, by the time we got 3/4 through the song, right? So song's over. It's standing room only type applause type shit. You know, it was a blast. Nikki was just sitting back here watching in awe. She's like, yeah, that's his element. You know, this is what he does. So everybody's, you know, then the other two perform. And then this other couple ends up winning because they did some weird dirty dance and shit. Everybody booed when they chose them as the winners. They booed them.
Oh my goodness!
So the three judges were ship people, and I think they were pissed off that here's a guy that's not affiliated with the ship that's getting the crowd roaring and into a song more so than what their entertainers do, and just kind of put them all to shame. So as the rest of the cruise, when people would see me, because I'm pretty recognizable, you know, there's not a lot of bald men walking around on a cruise ship. So they'd be like, dude, you were awesome. You should have won. You should have won. I was like, yeah. It was just fun.
What a great story.
Yeah. So that's the last time I sang in public live. And that was just purely on I don't know, just, you got to do this to win the contest. I'm like, okay. So
I'm in.
You'll be this. Yeah.
I'm looking forward. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm looking forward to having you, man. That'll be great.
You're good. Yeah, it'll be fun. And I'll make sure I know Lean on Me. I'll make sure I'm refreshed. I know it, but I'll make sure I know it.
Yeah, for sure.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, we did a karaoke time. Oh, this is funny. Like we were on a cruise ship and we did a karaoke as well. And one of the things I'm always amazed at, like when you do like random karaoke, sometimes you just can't find a song that you know.
Right.
But we started playing, what was the song? John Denver song.
Rocky Mountain High?
Country Roads.
Country Roads.
So you think, okay, Country Roads, that's easy. We got to know that one, brother. That,
West Virginia.
right? So we started.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It was in this funky key. They had this garbled up, I don't know what it was, like pitched down, 5 steps. It was the weirdest intro. You're like, what key am I singing in, right? So you're like trying to, catch and the song doesn't have much of an intro, so catching the key in your head just to translate it was like, okay.
Right.
So that was so that was really hilarious, just trying to get on the vibe of that. And then this guy came up and he sang Tennessee Whiskey.
Okay. Oh, from
Oh my
Stapleton?
God.
Yep. Yeah.
He sang it better than Chris Stapleton.
That's not
He
surprising.
crushed it. He crushed it, and everybody was just watching, their mouth hanging open. This dude,
That's awesome.
I don't know, he was phenomenal, and he sang one other song later that night.
Cool.
I don't know what his
I love
background
when stuff
was,
like
but
that
probably like you,
happens.
Chris. Like he was like rocking it because that's what he did for a living or something. So
Right. That's cool.
So Mike, I got a question for you, man. What song would you get up and sing a karaoke to?
He doesn't sing.
But no, there's got to be one. There's got to be one.
Well, I guess the only song I ever sang on stage was Cat Scratch Fever.
Yes, this is true.
Okay. All right.
I have done karaoke to Garth Brooks and Bon Jovi if I had help. I got up there last time I was in Catalina Island before I left Arizona. I went over there for a wedding and we got up and did that.
That's awesome.
I can sing. I just can't sing in front of people.
That's awesung.
You can't learn to play an instrument and not know how to hit notes with your voice.
Yeah,
It's almost not possible.
It's like I call it like a producer's ear, right?
Yeah.
Mike is like, my producer, he's not a trained vocalist, but he knows every pitch, right? He's like, he'll say, here's the note, it's up there, it's over there, whatever, as we're sort of working through a melody. And it's like, okay, he's got an amazing ear. But he doesn't sing, but he knows, kind of like most great guitarists who you can sing the melody that you're playing, right? You sing along with it in your head or, with your falsetto voice or whatever you're doing.
Yeah. When
do you
him
do
and
that,
I
Mike?
would, when him and I would write songs and he'll describe it, we might describe it differently, but I might play something that catches his ear and he'll sing that melody that he heard me play, but we would do it in reverse too, where he would have the melody in his head and he would sing it to me and I would write the guitar part to his melody. We did it both ways.
Yeah. How do you write? Because you said you're in Houston right now writing song. It's a writing song day. So what's your approach? What's your approach?
Yeah, so if I'm writing by myself, I write poems every day.
Right, so do I. We talked about that.
So so I'll think about so first of all I have this 100 breath ritual that I go through. So I'll stop what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I'll sit in a comfortable position and I'll just take 100 breaths and just let it all out. Whatever, however many tabs, I'm closing tabs, man. X until it's all clean, right?
Yeah.
And it takes me about 100 breaths to do that. I wish I could do it faster. And then I'm like, okay, I come out of that. I'm like, all right, what am I feeling? And have I written something recently about that feeling? And if I'm feeling that, then I'll go to that poem or that set of notes and I'll pick that up as sort of a vibe. If not, then, I'll think about what do I have, what am I looking forward to? And so that'll stimulate something. And so it always starts with a feeling. And then for me, I start doing, I learned this 3 years ago in Andrea Stolpe's songwriting retreat. I learned this free thinking exercise. It was just an unlock for me. And so I hit my voice memo and I just start talking about whatever it is I'm feeling. And I just let it go until the spigot gets empty.
Okay.
Right. And then I'll close it and then I'll translate it to text and then I'll start reading it back to myself and catching the vibes from within it, right? Cool. And then once I've gotten one or two little bits from that, then I'll start humming a little bit of a melody, and then I'll think about, any of the feelings that might go with that melody that I've kind of isolated, and then I'll grab my guitar and start thinking about it. I'm going to call it like a groove or a rhythm. I actually start with a rhythm first, just something that gives me a little bit of a time signature thought.
Okay.
And then I'll, sort of pull underneath that. Then everything just starts. It's like pulling the strings of a bag together. All of it will just start kind of, shifting together, which I find to be, just super rewarding. So if I'm writing a song by myself, it's kind of the overall process that I use. My hope is when I finish with my songwriting time that I've got, usually I'll allow myself around 3 hours. And then at the end, I'm hopeful that I got to a verse and a chorus from that session, right? Maybe it's more, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
If I'm writing with someone else, I have a completely different process for that.
Well, you have to. You have to.
Yeah.
So do you purposely, like when I write, there's not purposeful, meaning that if I'm going, and when I was in Nemesis, happened all fucking time and it drove me nuts. As soon as I laid my head down on the pillow, a song would pop into my brain.
Yep.
And then I'd have to get up and I'd have to go in the other room. And I'd have to keep repeating what was in my head, those 2 or 3 lines that popped in my head, and then get into my office and start writing it down and just let it free flow. So I can't purposely, like you just talked about. If I sat down and breathed 100 times, I would go into a meditative state and probably fall asleep. So do you ever have those moments where the muse just speaks to you? Because I know you're and okay, cool. Because I'm not. downplaying how you write because you're creative as we
That's
are.
the
But
analytical side of his
right, that's what I was
brain,
getting
for
at.
sure.
But that's
Yeah.
the analytical. I'm an aerospace engineer. I can look at the protons in the universe, and
I'm like
you're
you.
splitting
You
atoms.
said it. I'm exactly like you, Chris. Not purposeful. I've never heard it put that way. That's a great way of putting it. When he heard me jamming when he first logged on, I don't ever sit down to write a song. I just pick up my
Right.
guitar and start playing, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, that's cool. Let's explore that for a minute." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I have moments.
So that's cool. That's I just wanted
epiphanies.
to know.
Yeah.
If you have a
Yeah.
muse aspect too. But I mean,
Yeah,
all musicians have deadlines, especially when we get to the level where they're touring and they're signed labels, and that's why a lot of the sophomore albums are sophomore slumps, because you spend 15 years, right, working on your first album.
Yep.
Right, and it's fine tuned, and it's down to every single note is perfect, and then all of a sudden you're that rocket to stardom. Everybody thinks it's overnight sensation. It's like, well, no, not really, but you haven't focused on anything other than these 15, 20 songs, right? So then all of a sudden your next album you got to write while you're on the road. So then you're under time constraints and pressure, and you're not really in the right mindset for the most part, which in my eyes is why you have the sophomore slump.
100%.
So I think some people forcefully write, and I've done it, and then I realize I'm doing it, and I stop, and then I go back and look at it. That was fucking stupid.
yeah. I think I learned a ton. Andrea Stolpe told me, while I was there, most people who have long-term successful careers, they write all the time, and it's a muscle, and they keep it going. And so they learn to put themselves in a state where they can write, and not just put out something, but stay with your voice and your message and write. And you're going to write 60 songs a year, and you're going to pick 8 that you might actually put out. And so there's going to be a lot of your little babies that never see the light. So I think just for me, writing often, I try to write 2 or 3 songs in a month, maybe 4 or 5 if I'm feeling like I have more to say. And then, sometimes I get like today, I was out running this morning with my dogs.
Nice.
And, you said, I'm running, I'm doing my thing, and all of a sudden, boom, something hit me, right? And all of a sudden the words just started coming to me, right? Like I'm this conduit that they're just flowing through. And I'm like, oh, what do I, so I carry my phone on my arm, right? And then I just pop a memo and I sing while I'm running, whatever I'm hearing.
That's cool.
And then I'll catch it in the moment, right?
That's what's great about technology now. I always wished for the concept of if we could create an app that could read my mind.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Because scary thing. I don't know if I want that.
Right, because the voice app itself is pretty cool, because once you, like you said, once you get the first or second line in your head and the ability to just click voice record, then it just flows. I've done that with Mike. I've sent him stuff like that over the years. But really, to be able to kind of just sync something to your head that can pick up. I don't know how they would ever do it, but it would be cool, because there's so many amazing songs I've written in my brain, in my head, that never made it to paper.
Elon's inventing Neuralink.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Way to go, Elon.
That's what
it is.
Coming at you quick. And I found it was a big impediment for me when I was learning about, like I say, I was a guitarist before a vocalist, right? I was a lyricist before being a guitarist. So to me, I had to get all of my skills close enough to be on par so that I could sit down myself and do the things, right? It was very clunky when I was writing early, because I would get the lyrics, and I would get the guitar part, and I would put them in a DAW, and I would get the melody and play around with it. And it was sort of, it was this iterative process inside of technology, which I don't like. And then when I finally got everything sort of, trained up well, 2 or 3 years ago, I can sit down with just my guitar or piano, and I can write and sing and voice dictate, and it all comes to, it feels natural now. It feels organic and less like I'm, clunking through steps, which I think has been a great unlock for me.
Well, I liked what you said earlier about it being a muscle. If you don't when people find out that you play and then they're like, wow, you really do play, it's because you do it every day. People don't realize that you don't just set it down and pick it up a month from now and be that same player, right? You have to do it every day, just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower or whatever. It's something that has to be routine.
How many hours do you play your guitar a day, Mike?
It's not in hours anymore. I always make sure I play at least 15 minutes every day.
Okay.
So sometimes that 15 minutes turns into 2 hours, and sometimes that 15 minutes is literally 15 minutes. But I force myself, and I have my entire playing career since I was 9 years old, to make sure I picked it up every day for at least 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think because I started learning, in 2011, all these things. I've had to go through the 10,000 steps that you did, probably from age 9 to 10. I had to do all of those myself, for my voice, for my guitar work, and for my
When
piano
did you
work.
start playing guitar, Mark?
2011.
I knew it was recently.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So just
We
just
got
sort
15
of learning.
years in now, but
Yeah. I feel confident on it. I feel confident, playing.
the reason I ask is because the music that I have heard you release, I really like your styling, for lack of a better term. Your voice on the guitar is really cool.
Well, thank you. I have a lot of
And the
people
other-
around me that help me learn that.
Yeah. And the other cool thing, obviously you're comfortable enough with what you're doing that you're touring. So that just shows you right there that you have no problem stepping on a stage and, kicking ass. Now, when you go on tour, is it just you, or do you have a band backing you up?
It's just me solo.
Okay.
So at the moment, my show is very much like a Jason Mraz show, or like a
Okay.
an Ed Sheeran or a John Mayer solo show, right? So it's very much like
cool.
that. I have a trio at home that I play with, and my
Okay.
big show here in town actually is a 5-piece. So
Okay.
at some point in time, I'd love to be able to up tier the venues that I'm playing, where I have enough of a following in certain areas where I can do like I do here in Houston. I'm a community guy. I would love to have a stage full of people with me, just sharing in the moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is
But
cool.
people have to be able to take off from their work.
Right. Does your wife go on the tour with you?
She comes out a week out of every month.
Okay.
We learned, I'm playing. If you look at my schedule, I'm playing a show every day. I'm driving 5 hours, and I'm playing a show every day. And she hears my music at home all the time too. So bless her heart, right? It's like, okay. So we learned the week she comes out, I only book like 4 shows that week.
Okay.
And then we go hiking 3 of the
Nice.
days. Right.
Cool.
And so we come out, and a week is good for her. And then it's like, okay, it's time to get home again.
Yeah.
She's heard all the songs so many times. It's more of just supporting me, So
my
she's
my
really
wife's
cool.
the same way.
That's
my wife's the same way. Totally.
Yeah, that's the flip side of being in a relationship is your fans find out, your family life, and they're like, oh, what? They don't want to be a part of it? It's like they lived it. They heard it incessantly. They don't need to hear it or want to hear it again, and I respect that.
Yes, that's a good friend of mine who's a songwriter in the area. He told me early in my career when I was observing him, he said, Mark, the most important thing I can tell you for the relationships in your lives, do not expect your family and friends to be your fans.
No. Now, the way that's a little different for me. My son, when he heard the album I put out with the band Hollow Council, absolutely loved it because he was at that age where he was just learning music. And to this day, he loves the song Empty Man, which is about a serial killer from the eyes of a serial killer. Shocking, I know, Mike. But just like love that. So much so that he has it in playlists and stuff, and he'll screenshot it to me to this day.
That's
Look what
awesome.
came up, Dad.
That's really cool.
But
that's a blessing, man. That's amazing.
Right. And then Nikki, because she's heard everything from Nemesis all the way, every band I was ever in, she goes back to saying Nemesis was the best group of guys I ever played with, which I agree. And then when I wrote my 3rd book, she was helping me write it because she helped me with, I suck at geography, so she's helped me with certain things. And she's never read it. And people give her shit because she's never read it. I'm like, look, she was sitting next to me half the time it was being written because we'd go on these road trips and she'd be driving and I'd be typing on my iPad, this is what I'm talking about, blah, blah. And then she'd give her a little insight. So it's the same concept. Like she doesn't need to read it. She understands it because she was with me when I was doing it.
And
You know,
I guess
they-
I would put it differently in that it sounds bad to say that don't expect them to like it. I think you have to put it into perspective in that, like Chris said, and that's why I started saying that. Nikki told him I lived it. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
that's an important distinction from your fans versus the people who are there every day that love you, Mark, and you, Chris, and me, Mike, as a human being, right? Because some of my friends are like, yeah, you're a great guitar player, but I love you, dude. You know, I love you as a human being. I love being around you. I don't give a fuck if you play guitar or not. I'm still going to hang out with you.
Yeah.
Those are the people you want in your life as an artist.
Yeah, and I think it's that whole, the energy, at some point I'm going to say, you guys experience this. I'm starting to experience it. Your brand becomes relatable to people that don't know you, and people come out to see you because they like your message and your brand and your show. They're not there because they love you as a person, right? Although they may. But I think going, as you move into that phase, it's interesting. Like early for me, like validation, right? I do art. I really love my grandma. I love my parents. I love my friends. I love to share my art with them, right?
Yeah.
But and they'll like, oh, we love you, Mark, and that's a great little piece of art. But I think it takes another artist to really understand when an artist is sharing something with you, there's a level of intimacy and respect that you have to have for each other to share your feelings and to stop and take a moment to appreciate the other person's art. And I think if you have that, then you're able to relate to artists in your life better. If you're not an artist, I think you just don't know. You don't know how to appreciate something in that way, right?
True.
You're bearing your soul to that person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Very
no
much
more
so.
vulnerable place in your life than sharing a piece of art with somebody, because it means so much to you. And if it doesn't mean that to anyone else, then you're crushed. It's like, what did I miss?
Yeah. It's
well, and that's why I asked how you're doing your tour, because to me, a stripped down, basically, whether it's acoustic or electric guitar, you're still on a stage by yourself with the spotlight.
That's as vulnerable as you're going to get.
Right. So we never did a lot of acoustic stuff in Nemesis. The last band that I did, we did a few shows like that. And I remember thinking it's a really weird dynamic because I'm used to having this loud force behind me, right?
And you use that energy.
Oh yeah, big time. So the first time I sat down and did an acoustic set with that guitarist, it was weird to me because I sing loud. Like I don't sing within a talking range. Mike can attest that. I sing loud. I'm a loud singer. I have to step away from the mic, or I do my mic checks and stuff before the shows, so I know. So for me to tone it down acoustically, it just really didn't work.
There was a time he didn't understand what that meant. We had to tone it down. We had to work on. He became honestly, Mark, he became the best person at mic control. That's why I give him shit now when I tell him, "Hey, you got to get up on your mic." I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Right.
He became one of the best I've ever been around, because when you sing that loud, you are making your sound man's life a living hell if he doesn't cooperate with what you agreed to in the beginning, right?
Right. Mic check.
Once that show starts, he has to do what he told the guy he was going to do, or there's feedback coming through at a level you can't understand. So I completely agree with what he's saying. It's weird for his style to go to
a soft,
but it's almost the musician's responsibility at that point to accommodate him, right? Here's how we're going to make it work.
Yeah, I found myself. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just to say my sound checks. I would sing a couple lines from Pearl Jam's "Wild Eyed Crazy Mary," because that was my low register, and then I legit would do the high register. I don't know what song I would pick, but I was loud. I was back off the mic.
I think you did the scream at the end of Freeman.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Yeah, because he needed to understand. And I never knew what octaves and range I had, because that wasn't important to me at all. I mean, some people, I can sing 7 octaves. I don't give a shit.
He was looking, Mark, to look at how much compression he needed to dial up at that moment in time, because Chris's dynamic range was insane.
Yeah.
He would go from this guttural low growl to just piercing the speakers high.
Yeah, that I think the you know when you're up, and it's kind of vice versa too. Like I played a bit with a 4-piece band, like I'll call it
Okay.
like mild rock, right? So we had a
Okay.
full drum kit and whatever, and so the feeling of that was very different. When I had the drummer banging on the rides behind me, or the snare, how do you even hear yourself as a vocalist? To a more
Right.
intimate setting. What I found myself, I found in-ears, which were super helpful no matter what now. So no matter what venue I play, I have a little teeny in-ear patch that I use. It's actually a cable from my guitar. It runs side by side. It runs down to my pedal
Oh,
board, right? And
right on.
it just feeds my vocal out to the mains. So
That's
basically
cool.
my mic just plugs into it's a little teeny Behringer patch. That's all it is. And so I can
Nice.
hear myself completely. If I want to put the front of house in there, I could, but that usually comes
Cool.
through the monitor just fine. And so I hear
Yeah.
myself just fine. But I found
So,
myself, when I'm up in that intimate environment, I love storytelling. I love
sure.
the whole, vibe of being on a journey where I'm actually talking to people.
Yeah.
And so just learning to nurture that in my first set of tours last year was a great skill, and I found a lot of personal satisfaction in that level of
Nice.
intimacy, right? And
Yeah,
so
that's
now when I
cool.
do a trio show or a bigger show, it still has the energy level is muted. It's not, full on rock
Yeah.
band. It's a muted
Yeah.
vibe.
Yeah. And see, I would love to be able to be comfortable and confident and sing at that level, just from an acoustic standpoint, because I do it in my head all the time, and I do it with bands that I know they can pull that off. I'm just not confident enough with it. Like, I know I could do it and pull it off, but it's not something that's my confidence level, because whenever I step to a mic, to me, it's got to be wow, and not screaming, mind you, singing in key. But again,
Yeah.
I was a loud singer. It's just the only way I can explain it. It's
So
just,
here's the technical term, because I know
Okay.
Mark likes the technical term.
Right.
He did what they call frying his vocal cords.
Okay.
So they call it vocal fry, right? So
Yeah.
you're actually making your vocal cords rattled together until you hit the pitch, right? So you're getting that rock and roll
Southern draw.
Yeah, that power. I'm trying to think of the word that it's a feeling more than anything, right? You're in key, but he was able to add his own character to it as well, right? I guess that's the word I'm looking for is Chris Dunham would come out, it's in key.
The Iron Dog would show
but
up.
you also got his personality as well.
Yeah. Do you guys know Chris Lipe?
Well, that name sounds familiar.
He's a vocal coach. He's also a singer. And he loves the rock genre. He's a phenomenal singer, and he's a phenomenal vocal coach. He's got a big following on his YouTube channel. But he talks a lot about what you were just saying, Mike. I love the technical explanation. He tells you what's happening. He's a baldy like you, Chris. So he's he'll be right there in the camp with you. And he does a lot. Chris Cornell is his all-time favorite singer.
Awesome.
But if you go check his channel out, you'll hear him doing a lot of that heavy compression and fry in his training too. So,
so you obviously know the song "Temple of the Dog," right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so I can do both those parts. I can be better. I can be Cornell. It's hard
Hunger
to do
Strike.
Hunger Strike. It was hard for me to do it.
Yeah,
it was hard for me to do it singing both parts in the same song, but I could still do that. So that gives you an idea of how I could play musically. And I had a vocal coach. The entire time I was in Nemesis, because I looked at it, and a lot of singers, I don't do warm-ups because I talk all day. Well, yeah, okay, but it's still an instrument. So, and I went when I was in college going through theater. When I first started going to become a theater major, one of the first classes I took was voice and diction, because I wanted to make sure I was enunciating, and I wanted to learn how to use my voice, because on a theater stage, there's no microphone, man. You have to project. So that's where I kind of learned that skill of projecting and being loud. So when I ended up being in a band, I never stopped in projecting.
Well, I think people would find that fascinating, because I remembered you did that. I went and I took blues lessons from Chuck Hall of Chuck Hall and the Brick Wall.
Yeah.
Scott was taking jazz drum lessons,
Mm-hmm.
and Rick was always educating himself.
Right.
All of us were taking lessons along with being professional musicians at the same time. So
I love that level of seriousness. You know, that's
Thank you.
Well, yeah,
and that is amazing.
And it's more so from a singer standpoint because we're out there more so than the rest of the band. The voices this is our instrument, and if you can't perform, you have to figure out, okay, how can I? Because there was nights we had shows and I was sick, I had the flu or I had a cold or whatever. So I had to learn how to navigate having those little weird nuances that everybody gets and still come across with the best product possible. And that was the thing to me about a vocal coach, is it taught me how to use my diaphragm, because Mike said I never heard vocal fry, but that makes sense. But I learned how to use my diaphragm, my breathing, and my throat at the same time, so I wasn't damaging my throat. You know, the power's not there like it used to be in 95, 90, 93 when we were playing. But I can still get up there if I started back into the nuance. Okay, I got to start doing my vocal training and my vocal exercises and stuff. And if I did that every day for a month, then I know everything would kind of fall back into place because of muscle memory. So I think from all musicians' standpoint, like you taking lessons since 2011, you have to do that. You have to understand your craft and how to make it's the best craft that you can present to the world, because otherwise, why are you doing it?
Yeah, I love that, and I think I'm curious anyway, so I want to know. But you got to get the right people to teaching you. I think
Sure.
My vocal coach Wes Landry here in town. He sings for the Houston Opera. He's got lots of degrees in vocal performance, and he's taught me a ton. I would never have made it through my tours last year, playing every night, 2 or 3 hours a night, right, singing. Never would have happened if I hadn't had his training. I think just having the right mentality about learning and about being serious. For me, that's just been my approach to things. I'm not doing. It's not a hobby for me, right? It's an extension of me, and
this is your next part of your life, man.
Yeah.
Here's the best example I can give for a vocal coach, why you need one. The first time we went to Nashville for the last band and recorded, it was supposed to just record 4 songs, and I was just singing along to them. I wasn't supposed to be recording the actual sessions. 12 hours with a lunch break, I sang those 4 songs. And then when we were done, he's like, okay, you guys are done. I got all it takes. And then we were like, well, don't I have to sing? He's like, no, you sang all day. I got it. And I was fine. I was tired. My throat was tired. My voice was tired. But legitimately, we would run through a song, and the beginning of Empty Man on the CD is, will you stop fucking around and get it right? And I chuckled because we get to this point in the song where I'm holding out this scream, and they kept fucking up the transition from it. So about 6 times into it, because that's the first song we did out of the gate, Tony McGlory, the producer, is like, okay, you guys ready? I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, you guys got to stop fucking around and get this thing right. Like, you're killing me. And that stop fucking around and get it right made the final cut. Like, it's there. It's the first song on the CD. The first thing you hear, right? The first thing you hear is that it's that word, that sentence, but it takes you back to that moment in time because it made it through all the cuts.
That's phenomenal.
But that's why vocal coaches are important. That's why practicing your guitar is important. Practice piano and drums and bass.
I can attest to what he's saying because I engineered and produced quite a number of his vocal tracks, and we didn't never have to do too many takes.
Yeah, but it blew my mind.
That's something I'm learning, right? Since I'm a newer vocalist, the first set of tracks that I did were, the first album I released was many, many more takes. Now it's 2 or 3 takes, and maybe something for doubling or something for harmony.
Right.
But I'm getting better. You
are, and it shows. Your songs show growth. That's the cool thing about technology now that we didn't have then. Like, we would cassette record our practices, and we had cassette tapes, and I'd take the tape home and go, Mike, put that down for me. He's like, what? Just put it down for me, give it to me. And then I'd go listen to it for days, and by the end of the week, I'd had the song nailed because I just listened to it over and over and over again.
Man, I love you guys. You guys are hardworking. You're serious about what you do, right? That's amazing, right? I mean, if everyone approached their life that way, right? Think about how much more people could accomplish.
I've been saying this a lot lately, Mark. I'm quite confident. I mean, I'm way better now, but I'm quite confident that I had my life way more together when I was 19 than I did when I was like 37.
Sure.
35, you know?
Yeah.
After
That's
the
because
music
yeah.
fell apart, my life fell apart because that was my you can see where my focus was for all that time, right?
Yep.
And when
Yeah.
I met Chris and his work ethic as a singer, I had never found before, right? Most singers were like, I got this, I can just show up and do it. And no, you
Yeah.
can't.
I was
He
so
was the
insecure
first-
about right.
He was the
It was
first
this-
guy I ever met that like he said it just like that. And he's like, give me that riff, you know? And I'm like, why? And he's like, I just need to listen to it, man. I know what I want to do, but I can't do it yet, right? 3 days later, he would show up and he's like, you remember that thing you played the other day? Play it. And I'd play it, and there he would go. He
Yeah.
would take off, and my eyes would go like, Jesus. He said, I told you I heard it. I just had to practice it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's inspiring.
Well,
Yeah,
there's
yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, that's inspiring. I think for me, you know, that's something. It was hard for me to understand as a vocalist. It was much easier for me to understand as a guitar player, right?
Sure.
I was trying to get a riff down, and I would play it until I got exactly all the way out, the energy I wanted into it. When I was singing, it was so hard for me I felt like this, you know, this awkward turtle, right? I'm like, I got to get the pitch right, and then I missed the breath, and then I missed the transition, and then I didn't say it. And then you get all the things you think right, and you listen to it, and you're like, that sounds terrible. I'm unintelligible. The diction wasn't right. So it was so much of an internal element for me to learn to do that. That, you know, it took a lot of growth for me to be able to sort of get there. Go ahead.
No, but see, there's the thing. Like, you're self-taught for the most part, right? I mean, you have lessons and things like that, but to go from where you were then to where you are now, the what is it, 14-year journey? You have to be able to look at that. Right. You have to be able to look at that and like, look, I started here and I was terrible. Now I'm here and I'm going on tours.
You know what I mean? Terrible.
But that to me is just it's fantastic because it shows your love of music and love of creation. Part of it's your analytical brain and who you are as a very intelligent.
But it also shows his work ethic as well.
Right. And a very lifelong learner who can do so many different things we learned from the first time you're on the show. And then now you're taking all of this math, like you probably use like 90% of your brain, right?
Yeah, real quick, people, if you didn't listen to Mark's first episode, go listen to it right now because that's why he's back here
after
again
this
for
one.
sure.
After this one. Because it is, man. It's just, it amazes me when we come across someone like you, because I call it a life resume. Your life resume before music was amazing. And now you have this life resume before music and one after music. And like, kid you not, you can come back on the show once a year for all we care, just to update where you're at in life, because it's such a great conversation.
Actually, I insist.
Right, and we've got an hour.
I love y'all's energy.
Like 10 minutes.
I could hang out with y'all for hours. We could just keep chatting, right? It's like, I'm so amazing.
Yeah, and we're still chatting. I'm not saying we have to stop the show. I'm just saying it's been an hour and it feels like 10 minutes. Yeah. Because you're just that easy to talk to, and you have that much love for just being a human. It's not necessarily just being a musician. That's rare, man. It's rare in the world to find somebody like you that has all these passions, and you've been able to kind of go through those different phases of your life and achieve the level of success that most people just dream of for one thing. And you've done it on so many different levels and so many different scales. It's cool, man. I'm excited to come hang out with you on Yucca Tap on the 20th.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And,
and
I really think, we're headed into this world where there's so many tools available to us to chase our dreams and passions, right?
Right.
It's like, it's just your level of energy and discipline that is really holding you in a situation where you want to grow from, right? I mean, all these tools now with AI and whatever else you can, I think, what does it mean to be human? It means to be, to feel. It means to be alive. It needs to breathe. We need to connect, right? But you can also pursue all these things with all this technology now that was impossible 2 years ago, and it's just going to get more and more amazing the way you can unlock your mind.
Yep. Mike, you had something?
I was going to say, I just thought of this. Mark is our Brian May.
Oh, there you go.
right?
That's
Brian
cool.
May is an
Yeah.
astrophysicist. So
Yeah,
I was thinking,
yeah.
who else do I know that is that smart but that cool at the same time? Because that is rare. You're like
he's way cooler than me, man. He plays with a silver dollar, right? Doesn't he play his guitar with a silver dollar?
He does something like
No
that.
shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah, he lost his pick one time, and that's all he had. So he just kept doing it from that point forward.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm just saying it's rare where you find somebody, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being mathematical and analytical.
not at all.
We need
Not
those
at all.
people. But it's very rare that you find somebody that their brain works that hard in that direction and equally as hard in an artistic direction, because most analytical brains don't understand art. They may appreciate it, but their brain doesn't work that way. So I find that so rare, man. And he's the only other person I can think of that falls in that category.
Well, that's an immense compliment. I think Brian May is like way up here in that category, and I'm not here.
He's had a lot more years to practice.
But yeah, he's a pretty phenomenal guy.
No question.
Yeah.
So when do you start this tour? I know Chris had the dates up, but what's your first official date?
March 24th.
Okay.
So that's the kickoff. And like I said, we have a pre-show here March 7th at the Armadillo Palace in Houston. So that'll be sort of me and my friend Roxy and a good friend of ours, Jimmy Eunice, a Mexicountry guy. We're on a ticket together here in town, and it's going to be an amazing way to gear myself up to hit the road.
So because we haven't really talked about it, walk us through, you've been thinking about what you're going to do, and you have a plan for this tour. Walk us through like what people are going to experience when you hit the stage.
Yeah. So, it's important for me, when I'm inviting people out, that they, first of all, they understand, we're talking about an intimate style show.
Yes.
So yeah, it's going to be acoustic. Me and my voice. I have a piano, and so I play a few songs on the piano as well.
Right on. I love that. You just went up another level with me. You went from here. You're already here, and now you're here because you can play piano. It's one thing I wish I would have learned when I was a child growing up is piano, because piano to me is just the ultimate instrument, because you do so much with the piano, and musicians that play piano, it's kind of like a female singer. You automatically got cred. Automatically. Automatic. Now you got piano right there.
Cool.
So go ahead. Sorry.
No worries. And so
you got excited.
So I've got a few pieces I'll play on the piano, and then I've got an electric guitar as well. So for my longer shows, I'll play most of it on my acoustic. That's how I'll start. And then I'll transition over for a few songs on the piano. Usually I'll loop some piano chords and play a little bit electric, and then I'm back on my acoustic. You'll hear songs from my newest album release, as well as my previous release, Acoustic Me. So I have a few covers I play usually that are signature covers of mine that remind me of people in my life or my influences in my writing. So I'll play a few of those. As you come in, you might hear me read a small bit of poetry about just sharing the room with you and sharing some energy. And then I think having just having a great, energetic, thoughtful set to share with everyone, stories from the road. If it's a listening room or a theater, you'll hear a few stories from the songs that I'm playing. And a lot of thankfulness for being there with me, and maybe a call out to add a few extra protons to your life and make the world a little better as you leave the show from my point of view. And a few people I'm going to do some volunteer events with as well. I love doing those if my schedule permits.
Awesome.
So should be a fun evening, upbeat. I'm not a sad storyteller. I'm an upbeat storyteller. So
good.
Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, lots of shows. I'm scrolling the tour dates as you come. I used to do a little bit of poetry, introducing some songs we have when we were playing. Just I
really wish that you and I would have finished that spoken word thing that we started and never. That was so cool, man.
Right on. Yeah, I did this thing called "Welcome to My Mind," Mark. That was huge Doors fan, so it was kind of played off Morrison's stuff, but it was poetry, lyrics, and beliefs, and it was called Welcome to My Mind. And so I did the first one, and I wasn't done. I wanted to do another one, so Mike and I kind of started that process, and it just kind of fizzled. But
it would have been amazing. He was the first person, Mark, that did stuff like that it wasn't bullshit. You know, I met a lot of people in my life where they were like, yeah, I'm deep, man, and I write real deep lyrics, and I like to, you know, turn the black light on and get high and write deep. You'd read it, and it would just be like total horse shit.
Yeah, yeah.
He gave me that to read, and I was like, holy crap, man. Now, this is someone who understands what's going on, right?
Yeah, I love that thought. I was in a workout class, and this it was like a spin class. So I'm spinning, and the lady does a ton of remixes and whatever was in the class, and she's like, she dropped this spoken word amazing anthem about finding the positive energy in life, and this guy was from Africa, as the speaker was, and the beat behind it was amazing, but just it really inspired me a lot that it's okay to share your thoughts and your feelings through spoken word, especially in a musical context.
Absolutely.
And that's when I added that to my show.
Not to interrupt you, but you're on the road until November, and you jump back on after a break and start up in April. Like
he says, I'm aware.
Yeah, baby, I'm coming out there to see y'all.
Like,
don't you know?
Like so you gotta have a stop in Illinois, don't you, for Mike to check you out, or do we got to put that on there? Hey, you don't see a show that you don't see a place I need to come to?
Yeah, we're gonna have to fill in a date there.
Because wow, dude, it's just I'm scrolling while you're talking. I'm like, wait a minute, he started this in March. Like I don't
have a connection in Illinois yet that I recall for a show.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm the new guy, so I got to keep knocking on doors, guys. Like, come on, baby,
well,
you can have me. I'm gonna rock it.
Isn't Lemoyne in Chicago, Mike?
Yeah.
Isn't that where? Yeah.
I bet we could. We could probably hook you up with somebody.
Yeah, yeah. So
that would be
we'll
awesome.
let Mike reach out to Lemoyne and be like, "Hey, dude, we need to have him back on the show too, just to see where he's at." Yeah, this is just nonstop, man. This is this is insane. And you're right. It's like May 25th. You're doing 2 shows. Did you know that?
Yeah, I got a noon and then an evening.
Okay.
So, yep.
Okay.
Do you do all your own booking and?
Yeah, I have a guy who helps me with some of the outbound, but for the most part, you know, I'm out knocking on the doors, and
I did
I'm working
that in
hard
the beginning too. So I want people to understand that's a whole nother job. Just so you know, that's a full-time job unto itself.
It's crazy, and I find myself, I'm actually working. I've been working on a project to connect with more colleges, not universities, but colleges.
Gotcha.
I find a lot of great synergy in a college environment.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely, man.
I'm looking to add more of those. So if you guys know anyone out in the college circuit, I would love to know that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Because really, with who you are and the whole positive vibe thing, I can see why the college atmosphere would totally like gravitate to you for sure.
Well, I'll tell you a funny story, Mark. I actually booked a gig, and when we showed up, the guy said, "Well, I didn't know you were in the band." You know, that's how differently I conducted myself when I booked the gigs versus being the guy that was the guitar player in the band. I tried to be professional, you know?
Yeah, that's awesome. I applaud that. It doesn't surprise me, Mike. You and Chris have an amazing work ethic, and when you do something, you guys want to do it right. I love that about y'all.
Well, as do you, man. You know, life is like riding a bicycle, man. To keep your balance, you got to keep moving.
Yeah, I feel you. There's a song in there, Chris, right there.
That's an Albert Einstein quote.
Yes, it is. It is, and that's the basis for my song, "Speed of Light." It's the relativity and the bicycle.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah,
Albert Einstein. He also said, "If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it."
Right. And see, I always love the imagination is more important than knowledge quote. I
That's
thought
a good one too.
I carried that with me my entire life.
Yeah, I love that about him. His musical influences as well. Just a lot of crazy hair. It's all good, man. I'm good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be a value. That one has some serious meanings right there. That's a legit quote.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Strive not to be a success, but rather be of value.
Yeah, I can relate to that completely. Lots of things that's That's why I'm supporting his gear right now. I think there's a lot of great lessons from studying him.
Mhm.
Okay, as a person who their brain thinks in those realms, where do you put Elon Musk in brain?
Yeah. Oh, good question.
I just thought of that.
You know, it's a good question. You know,
Is he on that par?
You know, I think from an imagination point of view, yes, I think he's just imaginative. He's creative. He's not lazy. You know, when he sees a thing, he goes for it. You know, so he's got a lot of those same characteristics.
Right.
I don't know that today um, the level of specialization to advance a field that was present when Einstein was around
Right.
is just insane. And so I think in my mind, we have to think about genius in a different way now because I don't know, I heard a quote, people in medical school today are learning 100 times more than people did 20 years ago.
I can see
That's the
that.
body of knowledge. It's just
Makes sense.
gotten
I can see
more.
that.
And
I
so
can
I
see
think
that.
we have to think about genia in a much more broad sense so that, you know, like you said, you know, creativity is the important thing, right? And the ability to think tangentially and outside the box and the motivation and the discipline to reach for something like that. I think, you know, Elon Musk has a phenomenal amount of that. And so I would say in his own way, he's certainly up there in that category. Maybe just not in a situation you know, where we are now that he could advance a field in some way like Einstein.
See, you ask a brilliant person a brilliant question,
Right,
and you
right.
get a brilliant answer because that is not
Right.
how I thought he was going to answer that question. But that was amazing, Mark. That was a great answer.
Thank you, guys.
It is Mark Winters, man. You know,
I don't know.
you just, you know, you can't just. It's not going to be yes. It's not going to be no. Which is why we love you, man. Which is why we love you. You know, that's why this is conversation. It's not an interview. And I made sure Mike understood that when we started this thing, when we first started talking about it, it's never an interview. It's a conversation because if you interview somebody, it's boring, it's dry, it goes nowhere. When you have an organic conversation and it's real and it's raw, then things just take this really cool dynamic, regardless of who you're talking to. They're entertaining. You know, and then someone like you're entertaining just because you're entertaining. So then you take it to a whole new level with everything we've been able to talk about. It makes it that much more of a fun thing for us to do as often as we do it.
Chris and Mike, you guys have an amazing show. You know, y'all are fun anyway. You bring out the best in everyone. I think y'all have an amazing show.
We described it as like the hang that we had after the band practice or show. Yep. You know, those were some of the most amazing conversations we had.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were just sitting there. After you expend all your creative juices, you know, then you're just kind of decompressing and talking about what you just did.
Keeping it real. It's honest.
Right. And that conversation always went so many different directions. Just, you know, see that chick in the crowd? What the fuck was that about?
And then the next person might say, "Are aliens real?"
Yep. So if you want to find Mark Winters, just go markwinters.com, right? Or markwintersmusic.com.
markwintersmusic.com.
Yes. .com. Yeah, plural. And we showed some of his stuff earlier. His website has all the music, the biography. He's got the shows, the merch, and how you can contact him. You can join the Positive Vibe Tribe email group. I think I signed up. I signed up for something while we were on the show. I'll have to sign up to that and see if it Chris and Mike will do that because we like to promote obviously everybody that comes on our show and help you grow your audience.
Thank you so much for that. That's amazing. Yeah, I share some behind the scenes stuff and you know some thoughts, maybe some poetry every now and then on my email list. So
now you got the content from your last show, right? Did I send that to you?
I got a couple, and I got a shared reel. So love to continue to get it. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah. I should have emailed it to you.
You may have emailed me the full content, and y'all were doing some really great clips too. So love to talk about how best to share that with my community and give you guys a thank you shout out too.
Yeah, he'll send you the reels, and then I try and tag you on Instagram too. I think I did that the last time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, So if I didn't send you 10 to 15 reels, I'll get on that from your first appearance, and then you can have those for whatever you want to do. And then once this show gets to where it's edited down, I'll do the same thing. I'm usually really good about doing it, but sometimes life gets in my way and I forget.
It's possible. I don't remember, but you guys have been amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, you're good. It's all good, man.
No, that's part of why we do this, is to promote. We always say if we didn't want to promote you, we would just talk to each other, because we can do that forever. So we might as well take advantage of promoting our guests, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. And anybody you come across that you find interesting and fun, especially on your travels.
You're going to be on the road forever, dude. If you run into people that you think would benefit from this, you know what we're into. We like people with, like Chris said, cool life resumes.
I'd love to introduce. I've got some people in mind. Do I text you or email you? What's the best way to do that?
Just have them go to the website, thechrisandmikeshow.com, and then have them register as a guest, because then that comes to you, Mike?
It comes to me, and then I send it to Chris, and he plugs you. He'll plug that person into a date.
Yeah, so check.
But do you want to know it's coming from me, or do you want me to send them your way?
Tell them that you referred them.
Yeah, they can fill.
Gotcha.
They can
because
fill
that means something coming from you to both of us.
Absolutely, exactly.
Just say referred by Mark Winters.
Yeah, and check your email, Mike, because I think a couple people have sent registered. Because we have a comedian coming on the show in a couple weeks, which I know you love comedians too.
I do. Is it Dan Rathburn?
It is Dan Rathburn.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a good guesser.
Yeah. No, it's cool, man.
He's buddies with Matt Farrell.
He is. We talked about that. Mark, you're freaking awesome, dude. I can't wait to see you and meet you in person.
Amazing. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to sing with you too, Chris. I got to find a way to do something with you up, Mike, when I go up to Illinois. Maybe you can sit out on electric with me or something. That'd be great.
Absolutely.
There you go.
I would love to.
There you go. That would be awesome. And then I'll get content for it too, so we can put it on the Chris and Mike page. Anything else you want to share, Mark, before we wrap this puppy up?
No, I'm thankful for you guys having me, and I would invite everyone to add a few extra protons to your life to make the world shine a little more.
Yep.
Love it.
Yep. And remember, if you're feeling suicidal, depressed, don't do it. Go scream in a pillow, go journal, go for a run, go work out, go find somebody to talk to. If you cannot find somebody to talk to, text 988. Somebody is standing there waiting to help you get off that ledge. You will leave a hole in somebody else's heart, as we can all three attest to. If you don't wake up tomorrow, tomorrow is a better day with you in the world. So remember that. For Mike and myself, Chris, and this is Mark Winters. This is Chris and Mike Show. We truly appreciate your time, Mark. We know it's valuable. It's the only commodity we have that you're running out. That being said, love you both. Have a great rest of your day. And just have a fantastic tour, Mark Winters. Excited to talk to you again, buddy. And see you May 20th at the Yucca Tap Room.
Thanks again, Mark. I appreciate it. Love you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it, man.
Peace. Don't leave yet, Mark.
Okay.
Don't leave. Take a moment, listen to your
Bye.